New research shows mindfulness, meditation, and yoga could help your kid put their mind at ease and improve their focus.
We've known about this for adults, but with kids, I find this fascinating. So here to break down this study is our 9 health expert, Dr. Payal Kohli. Thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning, guys.
We were just talking about this recently because I think you did this with your nephew as well, right?
Yeah, so I learned about it through my nephew's doctor.
Okay.
Actually, he's a pediatrician because he's got a lot of issues with focus and attention and everything. And so we started doing these meditations together, and it's been amazing.
So talk about the scientific research that goes, into giving meditation to kids.
Yeah, so, it has both physical benefits, but also emotional, psychological, and behavioral benefits, in fact. So the physical benefits, just like with adults, our stress hormones actually go down. And believe it or not, kids have a high level of stress hormones because they're very quick to react to impulses. And so it can help with their blood pressure, it can help with their heart rate, it can even help with childhood obesity, with eating disorders, with their sleep, all the physiologic things that go into our stress hormones. And then there's the behavioral aspect. So one of the things that kids' minds don't do well is to regulate their emotions. They're very quick to react. That's why I was just with my niece last week. You take something away, the tears come right away because the emotions are sort of on their sleeve.
Yeah.
So this helps them to take a step back from their emotions, to regulate their emotional brain a little bit, to improve their focus, their concentration, their attention, their behavior. It even can make them more empathetic and kinder people because they have a little more insight into their feelings and emotions.
Absolutely. I'm really into meditation. And I read, this was a couple of years ago, that it can also help expand the gray matter in your brain, right? Which is kind of where a little bit of that focus is.
Very much so. And with kids especially, their brains are more plastic, which means they're developing more. So if you start to introduce this in childhood, which is one of the mistakes we've been making, waiting till we become adults, waiting till our dysfunctional behaviors develop, and then trying to introduce meditation. But instead, they say you can start as early as age 3.
Wow.
Yeah, and start to introduce these meditations into a daily practice. And it looks different for a 3-year-old than it would for a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old, but it's really quite incredible.
Starting that young, you wonder how they're going to grow up, right? Like the success they're going to be able to achieve.
What I found so interesting when we were talking about this, I was like, there's no way that my kids would do meditation. But you were like, but they put it in the Trolls voice or the Sonic the Hedgehog voice, and that really does grab them.
It does. So there are tips and tricks as parents if you want to start your child as young as 3. So at the age of 3, their attention span is small. So you want to limit to 1 to 2 minutes. You don't want to go longer than that. But as they get older, you can start to extend it out. You want to make it either a story or something playful like a game. And you want to reach for easy meditations like breathing, sensory awareness. Can you feel your toes on the ground? But also, other types of meditations like body scans are really easy for kids to do. So where are your fingers in the air? Where are your toes in the air? Those types of meditations. And you put them in a Troll's voice, or my nephew loves Mario. So ours was a Mario one. But then he started asking questions and I had to redirect him a little bit. But if you make it fun, you do it at the same time every day. And gratitude is a big one. So at bedtime, I would highly recommend a minute of gratitude, just reflecting on the day, what went well, what was difficult, and that really helps to kind of incorporate that into their routine.
Yeah, good advice for people of all ages, really. One quick question, we have about 20 seconds left. We've been talking about ADHD. I'm just curious if this can help with anything else, though, too.
Very much so, with autism, with PTSD, with eating disorders, even kids that are acting out, falling into bad company, having substance use issues like our adolescents, it can really help. And I would encourage you to add yoga in there as well. It seems like our kids are too young to do yoga, but the tree pose, the cobra pose, the cat pose, it's all part of getting into your body. And one of the ways to get out of your mind is to get into your body.
We do the gratitude conversation at dinner, and it really is so important to do. I love this topic.
I had to do this last night. It changed my perspective on the day. It's not a great day yesterday.
No, but you're doing all the things. You do meditation, you do yoga. It's all good.
Therapy, it was great.
Your gray matter looks good.
Dr. Kohli, thank you.
And by the way, you can find all of Dr. Kohli's appearances at 9news.com/Dr. Kohli.